How's it going, everyone? How's your 2020? As you guys have waited, 2020 is finally over. It was definitely a special year. So my wife and I had a hard time figuring out how we're gonna do a marriage and all this reception, and there's so many things. So if you check out this video, you can find out what happened to both of us. I think the biggest issue we had 2020 was coronavirus and COVID-19. So we couldn't do so many things that we planned out because of the COVID, but I'm still grateful for the opportunity to get married, even though there were so many crazy things happened in the past year. By the way, I just made very awesome meme right here. I don't know what you guys think, but I found it's funny. If you like this meme, please hit the like button and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of the video. Today I'm gonna review this video. It's called Why Japanese So Thing. Okay, so before we start this video, I'm originally from Japan. I'm born and raised in Japan, but luckily basically I went so many places outside Japan. I went to Hawaii, I went to Australia, and right now I'm here in America. So mostly I spend time speaking in English in Australia, even though my English is not as good as the people who speak English as a native language. What I'm saying sometimes doesn't make any sense, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying right now. I assume that my accent is most likely from Australia and Japanese, gonna both accent mixed together. That's the base of my English, and there are so many different accents I've learned. This is my accent. And so please don't judge me.
Don't make fun of my accent.
Which means I can tell a little difference between each country. So basically I want to tell you this video is telling the truth or not, according to my own experience in Japan and in America.
Counting down from number 10. Diet. The secret to Japan's success begins with their diet, which is pretty carb-heavy and low in saturated fats. Their main dishes of choice include vegetables, grains, fish, and meat. Dairy products and fruits are consumed in moderation. They tend to stay away from foods with excessive amounts of salt and sugar, like burgers and soda. Many Japanese people follow dietary guidelines set by the government that place the focus on eating fresh foods and cooking at home. This actually gives the Japanese a genuine desire to eat real healthy foods versus processed stuff like pizza, hot dogs, and frozen ready meals.
Okay. Honestly, I didn't know the Japanese are very trying to follow the food guidelines, and I didn't even know there's a guidelines. But I think what guideline in this video means, I think in my understanding, there are words. There are two words. It's called collectivism and individualism. I think Japanese are very collectivism. They're trying to stick with their own ideas, take care of their own traditions. It takes a long time to accept the new things.
She saw something new and died.
Just like that?
Yes!
Once people in Japan, they accepted the thing that is new into their lives, they will stick with that thing. They're basically trying to stick their ideas. It's kind of feel of embarrassment when you do something different from other people. I'm not talking about everyone in Japan, just this idea is basically applied to people in general. And that's why so many people follow these healthy food guidelines, because you'll be so weird if you're the one don't follow the guidelines. You don't want to be weird, you don't want to be unique or special, and you want to be someone who normal to people in Japan. That's my understanding of the characteristic in Japan. So if I'm wrong, please comment down below.
Number 9. No snacking. Yep, the country with the most.
This is exactly the vending machine looks like in Japan. There are so many different types of vending machines, like not just a drink, but there are also food. There are also like battery, or I don't know. There are so many things like
vending machines per capita doesn't actually snack all that much. In Japan, they usually stick to 3 wholesome meals a day that don't leave them hungry or dealing with sudden cravings. Those who do.
So when I was in Japan, their snacking is not the bad thing. It's just their It's not something that you do as habit. You don't really have to have snack. At least my family in Japan, they don't really having like a snack time. Basically, when you have a party, you can get some snacks from the store, or you can just have snacks once in a while.
You snack, keep it in small quantities, and
One of the biggest differences in Japan and in America is the portion of this food. If you are from America, you will be so like astonished in Japan. They're so tiny. I mean, I'm grown up there, so I thought it was normal, and when I come over to America, I was so surprised how big the food, and not just the food, but there lots of things, size is bigger, way bigger. I think the size of down there is probably bigger too. Yeah, it's very different. Those who never been to Japan before, and if you're thinking visiting Japan, don't expect too many things. But quality though, if you like quality, go to Japan. If you like quantity, come to America. America is the country of quantity.
with a lot of moderation. Number 8. Fast food. Just like the rest of the world, a lot of Japanese people have a hectic schedule that doesn't leave a lot of time or opportunity to prepare a home-cooked meal. In that case, they can turn to their version of fast food, which is usually a lot healthier and resembles
Okay, look at these stuffs. That makes me hungry. I don't know when will be next time I'm going back to Japan. These foods look glorious. I don't really know if these foods here is considered as a fast food. This is not a fast food, in my understanding. I don't know what you guys think about these, but fast food means fast food.
home-style cooking. Of course, they do have American fast food chains like McDonald's, Burger King, and Pizza Hut.
But, you know, just so you know, this is in the city. If you go small town, there's fast food. In the town where I grew up, doesn't have as many fast food as city area. I grew up with McDonald's. There's a McDonald's and KFC and a Pizza Hut. By the way, the Pizza Hut, it's ridiculously expensive in Japan. In America, large pizza only takes 1,000 yen, maybe $12, $13 for the large pizza. In Japan, if you get large pizza, it takes $30. I'm not even joking. And the size is a lot smaller than the large pizza in America, so it's a pain.
But even with these options readily available, many still prefer a traditional meal at home as they've been raised to keep nutrition in mind. Kids in Japan are given nutrition classes in elementary school.
Do I have a nutrition class in Japan when I was in elementary school? I think I did.
Allows them to grow up as adults who make smarter food choices, since they're well aware of the detrimental effects fast food has on the body. That's why they tend to stay away from the super greasy stuff. Number 7. Eating on time. Most Japanese people have very regulated meal times. They eat 3 filling meals a day, with breakfast usually happening between 8 and 9 a.m., lunch from 12 to 1 p.m., and dinner between 6 and 8 p.m. This routine drives the Japanese to prepare meals in advance and helps them make better food choices given.
Alright, so this eating habit is very ideal, and I think there are lots of people that are trying to stick with the eating habit like this. Eating on time is very important for Japanese, but I've seen many people it's had a hard time because of their work schedule. That makes them hard to stick with the habit of eating habit, so I feel bad for them. But
that they don't have to figure out what to eat on the spot. If you don't have a steady meal schedule or tend to eat whenever, chances are you'll make poorer food choices. You might find yourself hungry come mealtime with no food prepared, and you'll naturally head to a fast food joint to satisfy that hunger.
that makes sense.
Number 6. Exercise for kids. It's a lot more common for Japanese children to walk or cycle to school. Of course, other countries have a lot of reasons why it might not be efficient or safe for kids to hoof it to class.
So here's the thing. America is huge. Public transportation, it depends on where you're from, by the way. But for example, like mostly they're widespread area. there are big distance between each houses, except the city. They're mostly a car society. Without the car, you cannot live in America. People can afford a car. Of course, they provide some buses, their taxis, or if you can afford a license and insurance and everything, you definitely have a car. You got to have a car. Well, in Japan, it's a lot smaller, and the distance between each buildings and even the distance between from home to the school is not as far as America. I think that makes sense here. You go to school by walk, that works out in Japan, but probably not works out in America.
The distance from home to school might be too far. The city may not have safe zone for pedestrians to use, or there might be a concern over crime. Since Japan has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, it's safe to walk to most places.
And that's one of the reasons let the kids walk to the school instead of you take the kids to the school. In Japan, is a least crime rate in the world, a lot safer than living in other countries.
This means that Japanese children grow up in a culture where walking and exercise is natural to them. And as adults, they can instill this in their own kids. Number 5. Portion sizes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
As in supersize me, not. Portion sizes have been on a steep rise in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's a portion of pizza in America, I guess. Wait, is that a Japan or America?
Throughout the world. For example, countries like Australia, Canada, Germany, the US, and the UK have much larger fast food portions than Japan. Plus, Japan has a culture of small portions in both fast food and home cooking.
Right.
There, food isn't served on one big plate, but on several small ones. Come mealtime, the typical dinner table for a Japanese family might be filled with an assortment of dishes, all packing a variety of nutrition. Even if they eat a lot of white rice, which you might know is high in carbohydrates, they eat it in small portions, so they end up having fully balanced meals.
I do fitness and exercise too, so I understand making you a little overweight is because of the eating too much carbs. It's not just eating too much fat. So I understand this because, in Japan they're eating just a small portion, except me, I eat a lot.
Number 4. A great public transportation system.
What's that?
If you live in a big city, you might be lucky enough to enjoy a good system of public transportation like the Japanese have.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of people who live in towns where the locations are more spread out are forced to travel by car.
Yeah.
But since many regions in Japan are quite dense, a lot of Japanese people don't own
Look at the people. So many people. I never grew up in the city, so
cars. Their train system is extensive, and other types of public transit are also readily available. Separate bicycle lanes and plenty of safe areas for pedestrians are common sights in Japan. This allows the Japanese to naturally burn calories as they
look at the amount of bikes.
Commute to and from work or school every day.
I think you don't see bikes as many as like this around here. Okay, I want to ask you, if you've been in America, have you guys seen bikes like as many as this?
They don't need to hit the gym because their simple daily routine does a good job at
You can only say if you live in the city.
keeping those excess pounds away. Number 3. Tea time. No, it's not golf. Tea, especially the green variety, is the #1 beverage in Japan.
Right.
Green tea has been praised for having a ton of major health benefits, like increasing metabolism, burning fat,
Yeah, I heard that
fighting
before.
anxiety, and reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease, to name a few. Many Japanese people drink green tea at least once a day, while others drink it several times in the morning, as an afternoon treat, and with any meals. A lot of restaurants offer diners green tea for free at the beginning of the meal or afterwards. Consuming so much tea means that their bodies get filled up with water.
One of the big things that I'm surprised when I go back to Japan and come back here, you see the people, the size of the people is so different. In Japan, it's more like their thing. Even though their height is high or short, it doesn't matter. They're so thing. One of the big things I always like, oh, I almost forgot that the people here is very thing. And come back to America and look at the people, and I was like, oh my goodness.
which keeps overeating at bay. Depending on how it's prepared, green tea can have 0 calories. Compare that to a glass of lemonade at an average of 120 calories, or a can of soda at about 150 calories. And you can see how common Western treats and beverages lead to obesity and weight problems.
That's why. I'm probably. I'm not gonna say anything.
Number 2. Dinnerware. The practice of using chopsticks also helps in weight management, since they make you eat more slowly and in smaller bites. This slow process of eating helps people catch when they're feeling full and avoid eating too much. The fact that food is served on a bunch of plates also slows down the process. When you think about it, if you have one plate with a burger and fries in front of you, you'll be able to eat it much faster than if you have several different containers filled with a variety of options like rice, soup, vegetables, and fish. This way, Japanese people are able to pace themselves and be more mindful about what's entering their body. Number 1. Food as an experience. During mealtime, do you sorta zone out, scroll through social media, watch TV, or wolf down your food as you're on your way to work or school?
That's me.
In most cases, this distracted eating only results in overeating, since you don't really see or think about how much food you're taking in.
That's me.
The number one way that the Japanese stay thin has to do with removing distractions and being mindful about the process of food consumption. Eating in Japan is treated with respect. People usually sit down at a dining table and focus on savoring each bite. This allows them to notice when their stomachs are full and realize how clean eating actually makes their bodies feel better.
Oh wait, hold on.
Focus on savoring each
So this guy is the previous prime minister.
bite. This allows them to notice when their stomachs are full and realize how clean eating actually makes their bodies feel better. Treat food as an experience, and you'll be more careful or even grateful for what you're putting in your body.
Okay.
So, tell us, Brightsiders, what's
Oh, the cosplayers.
your biggest takeaway from these Japanese tips? Let us know in the comments below.
Cosplayers.
Don't forget to give this video a like.
Alright, so this video is telling you a little bit about the why Japanese are very thing, and according to science, but I'm not really sure you can actually think this as a science. It's very interesting. It's a very mostly accurate. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you want me to do or what you want to see. And if you're from America, I would like to tell you something about Japan. If you're from Japan, of course I can tell you about America. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Please comment down below. Stay skaks, enjoy your day. Peace.